The African sun beat down mercilessly as Helena, a seasoned lioness, stalked through the tall grass near the Mara River. Her amber eyes scanned the horizon, not for prey, but for her missing cubs. The drought had been brutal this season, forcing animals to venture closer to the dangerous waters where crocodiles lurked beneath the murky surface. A desperate cry pierced the air, high-pitched, terrified, and unmistakably young. Helena's maternal instincts kicked in instantly. Racing toward the sound, she discovered something that would change everything she thought she knew about survival in the wild. A tiny fawn, no more than a week old, thrashed helplessly in the rushing current. Its spotted coat was soaked, its delicate legs too weak to fight against the powerful flow. The baby deer's mother stood on the opposite bank, calling frantically, but unable to reach her drowning child. The current was too strong, the distance too great. Without hesitation, Helena plunged into the treacherous waters. The other animals watching from the safety of the riverbank couldn't believe their eyes. Lions didn't save prey animals, they hunted them. Yet here was Helena, swimming against the current, her powerful muscles straining against nature's force. Hippos emerged from the depths, their massive jaws agape, while crocodiles circled like living nightmares in the brown water. Helena reached the struggling fawn just as its head disappeared beneath the surface for what seemed like the final time. With incredible gentleness, she grasped the tiny creature by the scruff of its neck, the same way she would carry her own cubs. The fawn went limp, trusting completely in this unlikely savior. The swim back to shore was perilous. A massive crocodile launched itself toward them, jaws snapping inches from Helena's flank. She twisted away, still clutching the precious cargo, never loosening her grip despite the danger. Her lungs burned, her legs ached, but she pressed on. Finally, reaching the muddy bank, Helena carefully placed the unconscious fawn on dry ground. The little deer wasn't breathing. Other lionesses had gathered, watching in stunned silence as Helena began nudging the baby with her nose, willing it back to life. She pressed gently on its tiny chest, her rough tongue clearing water from its nostrils. Then a miracle. The fawn coughed, water spilling from its mouth, and drew a shuddering breath. Its dark eyes fluttered open, meeting Helena's golden gaze. Instead of fear, there was only gratitude. But the story takes an unexpected turn that nobody saw coming. 3 days later, Helena's own cubs still hadn't returned. Park rangers had been searching, but the drought had scattered prey animals across vast distances, and predator families were struggling to survive. Helena had grown weaker, having spent her energy on the rescue instead of hunting. She lay beneath an acacia tree, wondering if she would ever see her children again. That's when the fawn's mother appeared, but she wasn't alone. The doe had spent those 3 days gathering every animal Helena had ever helped. There was the injured zebra she'd allowed to drink at the watering hole when she could have easily taken it down. The elderly buffalo whose calf she'd guided away from a cliff instead of pursuing. Even the warthog family she'd protected from a pack of hyenas months earlier. The most shocking revelation came when the elephant matriarch, Grandmother Django, approached with Helena's missing cubs trailing behind her massive frame. The cubs were thin but alive, having been protected by the elephant herd during their mother's absence. "The little one told us what you did," Django rumbled, her ancient eyes filled with wisdom. "In a world where strength means everything, you chose compassion. The river spirits whispered your deed to every creature. We could not let such kindness go unrewarded." Helena's reunion with her cubs was emotional beyond words. They nuzzled against her, purring with relief and joy. But the surprises weren't over yet. The animals had done more than just find her children. Led by the grateful doe, they had driven a small herd of gazelles toward Helena's territory, not as prey running in panic, but as a gift freely given. It was unprecedented in the natural world, prey animals willingly providing sustenance to a predator who had shown mercy. Word of Helena's compassion spread throughout the Serengeti like wildfire. Other predators began to change their behavior, understanding that sometimes mercy could be more powerful than might. The ecosystem itself seemed to shift, becoming more balanced, more hopeful. The baby fawn, now healthy and strong, would often visit Helena with its mother. The two families formed an impossible friendship that defied every law of nature. When Helena's cubs played with the young deer, no instinct to hunt arose, only the joy of innocent companionship. Park rangers documented this extraordinary relationship, calling it the Mara miracle. Scientists came from around the world to witness predator and prey coexisting in perfect harmony, all because one lioness chose to save a drowning baby deer instead of letting nature take its course. Years passed, and Helena became known as the guardian of the river. Her legacy lived on through her cubs, who grew up understanding that true strength sometimes means choosing mercy over instinct. The baby fawn she saved grew into a magnificent deer who would often be seen grazing peacefully near Helena's pride, a living symbol of the power of compassion. In a world where survival of the fittest reigns supreme, Helena proved that sometimes the fittest are those with the biggest hearts. Her split-second decision to save a drowning baby deer didn't just change two lives. It transformed an entire ecosystem and showed the world that even in the wild, love conquers all. Justice was served in the most beautiful way possible. Kindness was rewarded, compassion was honored, and the brave lioness who risked everything for a stranger received everything her heart could desire. If this incredible story of interspecies friendship moved you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing animal rescue stories that will restore your faith in the natural world.